Hello and welcome. The editorial today, the date has been wrongly put over here. Let me correct it. It is for 5th of August. The topic today is more of the same. What does it mean? More of the same. More of the same. This word gives a special meaning. It means something that was there, the more of it, the more of what was already there is more of the same. Something was there in the past, and more of it has come now again. This is more of the same. Now, what does it say? The subtopic: Donald Trump is again resorting to hateful tropes about immigrants stealing jobs. So, this is more of the same. Donald Trump was doing it earlier also, was having hateful tropes about immigrants stealing jobs in the past, and he has done it again with more assertion to it. What is a trope? What is a trope? Trope is something that is repeated on and on. Trope means something that is repeated on and on. So the subtopic says that Donald Trump is again turning back to the hateful deeds that he has already done earlier against against the issue of immigrants, those coming from other countries, stealing jobs of Americans. So this is what it says: the immigrants, workers coming from different countries to America, they are stealing jobs of Americans. This is what Donald Trump said earlier. Now he has repeated with more force and assertion this kind of hateful thing. So this is more of the same. Let us see how this is being explained in the passage. The list of US President Donald Trump's attacks on the inflow of skilled foreign workers into the country continues to expand rapidly. What does expand rapidly? The attacks of Trump expands rapidly, with the latest salvo from the White House seeking to potentially prevent such workers from participating in any federal government contracts indefinitely. So this is the message. The message is very clear. Sentence is a bit long, but the meaning is very clear. It says that if we count on Donald Trump's attacks on inflow of skilled foreign workers, it will make a long list, and this time it appears to prove that it has expanded rapidly. What does it mean? The attacks on inflow has expanded rapidly. It has become more vigorous, and more restrictions are being imposed on the inflow of foreign workers. With the latest with the latest story from the White House seeking to potentially prevent. What is potentially prevent? Likely prevention. Likely prevention with force. Such workers from participating in any federal government contracts indefinitely. So, at least so far as the government is concerned, government issues so many contracts to individuals over there, or it has some contractual appointments also of employees, and for that the foreign nationals will be prevented. They will not be allowed to participate, and that too for an indefinite period, not a limited period. So message is very clear. Donald Trump has been attacking inflow of skilled workers, offshore workers, in the past, comes out to have expanded with more vigor, and in that the latest development is that Mr. Trump, the White House, has debarred foreign nationals from participating in the federal government contracts. So this is the opening sentence. This is the first sentence of the passage, and it puts an emphasis the uh, on the ouster of foreign workers and the formation of a new provision by the White House that foreign nationals will not be allowed to be employed with the federal government or handle the contracts of the government. So, the executive order signed by Mr. Trump specifically targets the H-1B visa as one that purportedly results in the loss of jobs to US persons owing to cheap foreign labor. So this is the issue. The executive order, the order that will be executed, has been signed by Mr. Trump, and that targets H-1B visa. What is H-1B visa? H-1B visa is given to foreign nationals to work temporarily in America for 3 years, and that can be extended to 6 years, and thereafter that foreign national will have to apply again. So this is H-1B visa. The employers of America can employ foreign nationals for 3 years on a temporary basis, and that 3 years can be extended to 6 years, and thereafter the foreign national has to reapply for another H-1B visa. So this is the law, and it says that foreign labors are quite cheap as compared to American ones, American persons, US persons, and this goes to the disadvantage of US persons who who are not as preferred for the job as the foreign labor. Indian nationals tend to be granted 60 to 70% or more of visas in this category annually. So this is a big thing. 60 to 70% of the total visa that US issues goes to Indian nationals. So Indians, sorry, I gave the wrong meaning. Out of the total number of Indians going to America, 60 to 70% are granted this visa, H-1B visa, annually. This is what it says, which implies that the potential impact of this order on IT and ITES firms based in India could be considerable and produce a ripple effect in the bilateral economic space. So it says that since 60 to 70% people, Indians, go to America on visa, the Indians are likely to be affected most, and since most of the persons going to US have things to do with IT and ITES. Uh, so this is going to produce a ripple effect, a cascading effect that has multiple implications on the bilateral economic space. India has a bilateral economic relations with USA, and that relationship is likely to be put to trouble by this one ruling, notwithstanding the sense of shock that this order is likely to cause among those in corporate India who invest in the US economy and create jobs there. It should hardly come as a surprise given the steady tightening of the screws on the US immigration paradigm during the final months of Trump administration. So, what does it say? This is a long sentence, and it has basically two parts. It begins with notwithstanding. So, it says that although the sense of shock that this order is likely to cause, the shock that it will have on corporate India, this notification is likely to have a shock on corporate India who invest in US economy and create jobs there. They have set up their offices in US and they create jobs over there. So this notification is likely to cause a shock. These people, this corporate part of India, and it's in the second part it says that it is hardly going to muster surprise win to the Trump who is likely to have elections in November next. So this immigration paradigm to protect American workers, uh, blue collar workers, the workers, the laborers, the manual workers, uh, this is likely to muster. So it says that it should hardly come as a surprise. We don't expect a surprise given the steady tightening of the screws on the US immigration paradigm. This is putting pressure on US immigration story. The US, the story related to immigration which US is building up and putting so much of pressure during the final months of Trump administration is not going to have a surprise. Although it will put a shock to corporate India who have invested in the US economy and have created jobs over there. So this is what it means. The surprise differences are not likely to come to US story in the final years of Trump administration. This is for sure, but it will create a shock to corporate India who have invested in US economy and have created jobs over there. So this is the message of this sentence, and this is how you should take out the meaning. Even in April 2020, the White House announced that it would be suspending the issuance of green cards. So this was the first thing that comes to light, according to this passage, that April 2020, the announcement for suspension of issuance of green cards came up, effectively halting legal migration into US. and this put a full stop to legal migration by foreign nationals into US. So April 2020 notification stopped green card holders uh, from coming into US. In in June 2020, the immigration crackdown was extended via an order to stop processing new visas across several skilled worker categories, including H-1B visas. Now, there was a second jolt, June 2020, when there was immigration crackdown. There was a further crackdown or further stoppage created by another order which prevented skilled workers as well as H-1B visas not to be issued. So visas for skilled workers as well as H-1B visas stopped being issued afresh. While the latest order avoids the language of an outright ban. So the current order does not openly says outright ban mm, on foreign workers joining federal government contracts. This does not ban foreign nationals, but it calls for a review of contracting and hiring practices by federal agencies. So this is otherwise of saying the same thing. It calls for a review. It says that the government agency, federal agency, should review hiring practices and they should prefer US nationals rather than foreigners. With a focus on foreign temporary workers and US government related services that were offshored to foreign countries. So it also says that focus should be given to the government related services that were offshore to foreign countries. So a lot many government related services were offshored, were given out to other countries where people of that country were doing the job for that service which belonged to US government. Now it says that the foreign temporary workers even there should be reviewed and hiring practices should be changed. See, this virtually relates to the fact that under current scenario, the governments as well as corporates, they outsource so many jobs. What is outsourcing? Outsourcing refers to allowing people of other countries do the job for them because the labor cost is quite cheap over there. Now in this world of computer, outsourcing has become very easy, and these outsourcing works are done. There are several outsourcing works being done over here in India as well. Sorry. To an extent, it is understandable the weight of performance expectations that rests upon Mr. Trump's shoulder is of immense magnitude. This is a plain sentence which emphasizes that Mr. Trump is under under pressure to show his performance as if he is willing to keep the presidential chair. The economy, which was in fine fettle, what is fettle? Fine fettle, fine condition. Fettle is stands for condition. The economy, which was in fine condition until COVID-19 pandemic struck. So before pandemic, the US economy was in fine condition, appears to be grinding to a halt Now it appears to be in trouble. It is approaching a kind of full stop with an expected surge in unemployment numbers to nearly 18 million jobless people. So the trouble uh, is something which uh, is spoken by the number of jobless in a country. 18 million jobless in US is a lot of people becoming jobless, and this is what it speaks of poor economic condition over there. To describe the US government's response to the pandemic crisis as tepid, bumbling, and wrong headed would be generous. So, this is the way to explain a thing. It says that the US government is having tepid response, a lukewarm, a kind of soft response, not careful response, and bumbling, something which is confusing and wrong-headed, not properly directed in the not properly corrected or headed for a correct direction would be correct to speak about the U.S. government's response. This is what it says. There is a high possibility that voters may punish Mr. Trump on November 3, 2020. So this is the comment on the basis of all these above facts, and it says that it is highly likely that Mr. Trump gets punished by voters over there on November 3 elections. However, instead of striking a positive note about finding the US greatest source of economic resilience in the diversity of its people, Mr. Trump has steadily retreated deeper into the morass of hateful tropes about immigrants stealing jobs. So, this sentence also has two parts. It says that instead of striking, not doing, what is it not doing? It is not uh, sourcing economic resilience. What is economic resilience? What is economic resilience? Resilience is ability to recover. So economy can recover if Trump uh, 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 if Trump sources or looks for it from the kind of people it has in USA. So it says that the US people they are strong enough to recover the economy, and that can easily be achieved if Mr. Trump goes for it. But Mr. Trump has retreated deeper into the muddy and hateful, the dirty and hateful repetitions about immigrants stealing jobs. Mr. Trump has done the bad thing, making hateful speeches, making hateful, taking hateful decisions, and saying that immigrants are stealing jobs of Americans. This may well strike a chord with his core support base of blue collar workers across middle America who are undeniably in economic pain, but it does little to repair the damage done since 2016 to the fabric of American society. Now, it says that the efforts of Mr. Trump can set a good relation with the labor class, which is the middle class of America, and uh, uh, this is the obvious outcome, and this is likely to have the core support to uh, uh, Trump's vote bank, but but it it is not going to repair the damages since 2016 that it has brought forth to find American society to the fabric, to the high class designs of American society. It is not going to repair the damages done in this manner by putting out the immigrants. Bitter polarization is a perennial trait. What is a perennial trait? Perennial stands for something that exists for so many years. Perennial, long-lasting trait of political landscape of the U.S. So U.S. is quite popular to have this kind of polarization of society, and uh, sorry, and in such a manner that it gathers a long-term effect, but it has rarely ever been exacerbated as in the last 4 years. But this time it has been exacerbated. It has been gone beyond those limits in the last four in the Trump era, in the last 4 years in the Trump era. This is the uh, outcome, or this is the conclusion that the author makes uh, about the steps that Mr. Trump is taking against foreign skilled workers or immigrants. Thank you with a request to like and subscribe this channel.